Now as a chief sponsor of this Trust in Congress Act. We referenced the Congressman Seth Magaziner from Rhode Island, Democrat Rhode Island. Welcome, Congressman. So let me just ask a big picture question first. So why should a member of Congress just not be allowed to trade an individual stock? And would they still be allowed to invest in other ways, mutual funds and the like?
Yeah. So members of Congress should absolutely not be allowed to invest and trade stocks. It's outrageous that this has gone on for so long. We should not be getting rich off of our positions. We are public servants. There's two reasons that this is a problem. One reason is that members of Congress have access to all sorts of inside information that the average member of the public does not. What might be in a bill or not in a bill, or in a budget or not in a budget. And that provides the opportunity for insider trading that is just fundamentally unfair. The second reason that this is a problem is that when we decide how to vote on bills, we should be making our decision based on what we think is the best thing for the country, not the best thing for our investment portfolios. So I'm the lead sponsor of a bipartisan bill. My co-lead is Chip Roy, a Republican from Texas. I'm a Democrat from Rhode Island. We've come together on this. Our bill would ban members of Congress from trading stocks. Now listen, members of Congress are people too. They should be allowed to save for their retirement or save for their kids' college by investing in widely held mutual funds like the S&P 500, but not trading individual stocks. And there should be real penalties for members of Congress who do engage in this sort of trading, and that's something that we're working very hard to put into place.
I certainly understand. I've seen other professions that have similar rules against individual stock trading, even in ours at times, in covering business news over the years. You don't want to hold individual stocks that you might be reporting on. It's a similar sentiment to that, so you go to mutual funds and the like. Now, the argument against that I've heard is kind of like a brain drain argument, right? You know, given your kind of status in the world and educational achievement and the like, members of Congress don't really make a ton of money, right? It's under $200,000 a year. So they say, well, you know, you're not going to get the best people to run if you ban them from trading stocks. What do you say to that?
Well, listen, I personally think that, you know, joining Congress, being elected to Congress is an act of public service. It should not be, you know, a for-profit enterprise. But if there are colleagues of mine who think that we are not paid enough, then they should vote to raise the salaries of members. We should not be getting rich by playing the markets or engaging in insider trading. This is a bipartisan effort. You know, I've brought together a group of the leaders of the various versions of the bills to ban member stock trading. We're working together to build a consensus bill that can have support across the caucus. But we've got some real momentum now. Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, came out in support of this a few weeks ago. Right after that, President Trump said he would sign our bill. And Speaker Johnson just a couple days ago said that he's supportive as well. So we've got the leaders of both parties who are on board now, so let's go. Let's get it done.
Right. It looks like this is probably the best odds you've had, right? I mean, I chuckled when the screen came up with all the faces on it to see like AOC and Chip Roy to your part. You know, the kind of strange bedfellows part of it. Here's that, you know, the bipartisan group that's working, including Congressman Magaziner. So you put the odds of passage pretty high, it sounds like.
Well, listen, it's still going to be a challenge because one of the things that you find about this issue is that those of us who are supportive of banning members from trading stocks, we're very vocal about our support. The opponents are not so vocal, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist. And so
that makes sense.
We still have some opposition that we need to work through. That being said, there's no question that we have some momentum. And the fact that now Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, and Speaker Johnson and President Trump have all come out in favor, this is the first time ever that we've had the leaders of the Democrats and the Republicans in Congress come out in favor of this. So I'm hopeful. We're working hard. As you say, we've got an eclectic and diverse team that's come together advancing this, which is great. That's the way it should be. But we're going to have to work hard to get it done. We have no illusions that this is going to be easy.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.